Hey team, Pete from Bare Athletic here, and today we're going to be talking about contact athlete basics and kind of exercise selection as well as what we should be thinking about in our training. So really the big goals we're doing, there's two big goals. We want to increase our strength as well as our explosiveness or athleticism, let's say. So that includes power training, and we want to build armor to make us robust for the contact that we're going to be doing, whether that be in our rugby codes, our AFL, or anything else that you can think of that's supposed to be non-contact but ends up being contact. We also want to make sure that we're building longevity. So that just comes through that adherence and consistency that we're always harping on about and that we're always trying to do to make sure that we have the best possible outcomes for us when we're going into contact and our bodies as prepared as possible. So I'm going to break down kind of the exercise selections that I would normally do for contact athletes that are evidence-based and backed. So we're going to look in three categories. They're going to be power, strength, and then our accessory movements. So with our power, we want to be focusing on outputs that matter in our game. Are you slow off the line? Sweet. We're going to think about trying to produce force quickly. Are you not hitting in tackles? Sweet. We might do some weighted jumps or something like an Olympic lift so we can absorb what we need. Are you a front rower? Then we're going to think about doing those big power cleans or those big high pulls to make sure that you have enough strength there when you hit that big engage through that hip hinge. With our strength, we're going to be doing the general basic strength that we're thinking of, that single and double leg squat patterns, as well as hinging, making sure we do our both vertical and horizontal pressing and pulling as well. So when we're doing our accessories, we're actually thinking about things that are going to make us have that armor. So it's going to be that little higher rep, trying to get a little bit of hypertrophy in, trying to protect those shoulders and make our back nice and big. Making sure that we get some reps into our hamstrings, our glutes, our calves, to just make sure that we can sit and play for the entire season and making sure our body is ready for contact because it's something it needs to be ready for. And also think about more specific things like working on our core training and making sure that from core to extremity, we're really strong. So thinking things like scrum planks, like hollow hold or band pullovers. There's also some more specific things if you have some deficits that we can work on. When you're that field athlete, that contact field athlete as well, or just a general field athlete, we also have to think about how many times a week we're sprinting. Generally, most evidence-based says we want to be sprinting at least 2 times a week. That is in season, and generally you're going to be getting that. But if you want to work on it more, you can. We just have to be mindful of volume to make sure that we're not doing too much that we can't recover from as a whole. When we think about programming, we need to prepare ourselves for what are the key factors in, let's say, rugby. So it's a multiple sprint sport with high contact areas, as well as you have to have a general aerobic fitness. And you kind of want to have a bit of musculature protecting all your joints and things like that to make sure that we have the longevity to play the whole season. That's just an example of something you need to think about. We don't want to do sport-specific training. That's why I left this to the end. We don't want to do the exact same thing. We don't want to do like weighted scrums. We want to work on the general qualities that are going to make us better: strength, power, hypertrophy. We're not going to think about like those little tiny minutiae because that's for working when we're doing training. If you want to get better at tackling, do tackling. Don't do weighted tackles in the gym. We're focusing on those general areas, strength and power, as well as hypertrophy and coordination, the things that we can work on in the gym and increase those outputs that'll make you better at your sport, perform better, and feel better throughout the whole season, more confident, more likely to succeed. So why does this matter? Well, training for the demands of your sport, especially when we're doing a contact sport, is a must. You need to be doing it. There's like no ifs and or buts around it. If you're not preparing for it, you have a high likelihood of getting injured, playing less, being less confident, and not getting the outcomes you want from your training. And so my take-home points for this video are most sports are actually really similar, and we're thinking of the general principles and things and outputs that we want on the field to work on. So when we master all of those general movement patterns that we talk about all the time, hinge, squat, push-pull in both vertical and horizontal planes, carrying, lunging, jumping. When we master all of these, get really good at them, have those high outputs, get really strong, we're going to kill it on the field. I can 100% guarantee you're going to absolutely smash it on the field. you to be ahead of everyone else that's not doing the training, the well-rounded training that you're doing, and you're going to hit those goals that you want. Keeping all these things in mind, making sure we keep adherent, which means we're doing things constantly, consistent, same idea, and becoming virtuous in all those movement patterns are going to make sure you perform and kill it on the field all season long, making sure you're looking after yourself. So if you have any questions about contact athlete programming or just in general, don't be afraid to hit me up.